All right, quick timeout in today's video. I want to talk to you guys about our sponsor, G Fuel Energy. If you're anything like me, you're locked in for late nights, breaking down games, watching wrestling, gaming, or just grinding content and coffee isn't cutting it anymore, this is where G Fuel comes in. No sugar, no crash, just clean energy that keeps you focused on pregame all the way through overtime. Whether I'm live, recording, or locked in the slate of games, G Fuel keeps me going. They've got a ridiculous lineups of flavors, collaborations, and a whole other group of well-known content creators a part of the movement. So you're definitely going to find one that hits. This is legit energy for creators, gamers, and sports fans who don't slow down. Use promo code PGHChris when you check out. It saves you money and supports the channel, which you guys know I appreciate more than ever. Again, that's G Fuel Energy slash PGHChris or use promo code PGHChris for 20% off checkout. Now, let's get back into the video. What is up, everybody? Welcome here to a brand new returning episode here of Sunday Unfiltered Wrestling with PGHChrisTV. Again, you guys remember the deal. 3 topics. We talk about them, about the week of wrestling, and much more. Of course, you guys know PGHChrisTV is always sponsored by G Fuel Energy. Make sure you guys use your promo code G Fuel, or excuse me, your promo code PGHChris to save yourself 30% off G Fuel. There's a 30% off code going on right now. Make sure you guys go get your 30% off G Fuel and make sure you like, subscribe, hit your post notifications, follow me on Twitter as well as the Sports Jedi Network. And you guys can see and hear the rebuild of our new channel as we try to get back on rebuilding that old channel that has been hacked. But till then, keep an eye out for us on our new channel at Sports Jedi Media Network, and we will see you guys every day for our weekly scheduled programming. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Unfiltered Sunday Wrestling with PGHChrisTV, a special audio exclusive, which will be uploaded to Spotify. But let's talk about the first subject here. Is let's talk about Hangman Adam Page, his return yesterday to AEW Collision. Now, I'm not sure how many people watched it. Um, people were getting ready for the Conor McGregor UFC fight versus Max Holloway, which I mean, we all know how that just ended, right? With Conor McGregor blowing his knee out on that first kick of the fight, and yeah, it wasn't a great watch. But Hangman Adam Page, Tony Khan announced on social media that Hangman Adam Page will be back in AEW for Saturday Collision, making their return. The assumption for that is they were in Virginia, so okay, we're gonna give make Collision at least watchable, before the main fights in UFC start. But the reality is, this is dumb. I mean, they should have just had Hangman Adam Page come out and interfere with the beach break match or something to do with that on Dynamite, because he just went out there and talked about how he's a man of his word. He knows the stipulation doesn't live sign an ink or some contract, but it lives to me, and it's he's gonna be a man of his word, and he'll never challenge for the AEW World Title again. See, now that I think about that, and when Hangman Adam Page says that, he should have been um signed a contract. There should have been a contract signed. There should have been something where it's official, because I feel like one of the things they're probably going to do on AEW TV, it's like, okay, they're going to maybe Kenny Omega is going to interfere with the stipulation, and we're actually going to get the stipulation turned around to where we see Hangman Adam Page actually in the ring. Or maybe we are going to get some way somehow that they're going to revoke it in a few years, whatever. But the point is, he says every other title he's coming after. So, yes, Hangman Adam Page, one of AEW's, I think he's boring, and I don't think he's as big of a star as the sickos like to say he is, but he is a big, you know, asset for this company. So I just think him going from world champion to being in the biggest storylines, main eventing, winning the world title in the main event of last year's Wembley or last year's All in Texas, excuse me, to now declaring he wants to go after every single mid card championship in the company. I mean, it's fucking crazy to me. It's so dumb. I don't care about Hangman Adam Page, but I can't say that because I know a lot of the sickos will get mad. So we'll see what goes on there. But speaking of AEW, AEW they did a baseball. They did the ballpark theme baseball at the Minnesota Twins field the other night at the game. I think it was on Friday night. But they did a brawl in the ballpark with AEW. They had a few stars. They had, I know Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta were there. I know a few people were there, but I mean, this is what the crowd, ultimately looked like. You guys can see in the thumbnail there. There was a big crowd. It was a good sized crowd. There was a good amount of people. Again, why they were there, we don't know. They were probably A lot of them were probably there to beat the traffic. A lot of them were probably there to maybe watch some AEW. Maybe some of them went for just the AEW. But I see a lot of people online clowning, the show, and it's just like I don't understand it. You've clearly never been to a baseball game in your entire life if you think this is a problem. You know how many baseball games have Star Wars nights and fireworks night and all these fucking activities that go on for these baseball games. And it's a normal thing. Harry Potter night, Pride night, all this shit. So they had a wrestling night just because if it was AEW, a lot of the people online were clowning it. It wasn't on television, so I don't know why people were clowning it to begin with. It's not like they said, "Oh, we're gonna put this on TV," yada yada, like they did with the thing where they were at the SoFi Indoor Golf Course Stadium. Like that was cool, but again, this was if you bought a ticket to the baseball game and you wanted to watch some free wrestling, you wanted to kill time after the traffic. It was a Friday night. I don't hate it. They're probably gonna have All In or one of the big shows at Minnesota Field. I know they had a partnership. Um, they had a partnership with the Minnesota Twins that was announced like earlier summer or whatever. So they have a partnership, and I wouldn't be surprised again if Target Field gets a All In or a Double or Nothing. One of their bigger pay per views or Revolution. I still think All In and Double or Nothing would be the two realistic shows that could be held inside Target Field. But I don't mind it. Again, Tony, they have. It's cool that they're having partnerships with teams. Obviously, they have a partnership with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're owned by the same people. Maybe we'll get All In at the new Jaguar Stadium that's being built in a few years. So I like wrestling in this setting. Again, this was for the free fans at the ballpark. If you went to the game, you got to see some wrestling. It was in Minnesota. I know Julia Hart was there. It was her backyard. So this wasn't a bad thing for AEW to do. I give them kudos, and who knows, maybe if they do a show at Target Field, some of those people will want to go in there and watch. So now that we talked about the two AEW topics of the day, let's talk a little bit about some WWE stuff coming out of this weekend. A lot of things going on. Um, I'll start with AJ Styles, where he went on an interview on the Phenomenal Retro podcast, and he talked about he would love WWE to purchase a wrestling promotion in Japan without altering its culture, just like as AAA in Mexico. He suggested this could revive Japanese wrestling through its early 1990s, popularity, including a sellout of the Tokyo Dome, which the only look, I don't watch the Japanese wrestling and I don't care for the Japanese wrestling, but I will say this. Obviously, AJ Styles would say something like this because he is a New Japan legend. But what company other than New Japan is selling at the Tokyo Dome? Again, I could be completely wrong because I think CMLL or AAA could sell out Arena Mexico. But in the Japanese population, how is the what's the strength of like a Noah or like one of these other Japanese promotions? That's what I'm saying. I don't see WWE buying Triple or New Japan. And I think that would be the only Japanese company that could be something like that. And AAA is a very, very big company. They're arguably I hear that CMLL does better business than AAA, but I've only ever watched AAA as a kid. I've watched maybe one or two of the AAA Triple Manias, so it's a tough one. With that for AJ Styles, but I see why he would want to say something like that because he's very big into that style of wrestling. Um, Something else that happened, CM Punk, a big news here happening with CM Punk. He was in a hotel room in New Mexico, and there was a family of CM Punk fans staying at the same New Mexico hotel as the wrestler after a WWE live event recording their unsuccessful attempt to approach him in the lobby, where a 6-year-old child noticed him and gave him a stern look, and the video went viral. With CM Punk reportedly posted and deleted the image, warning fans to not follow him to his hotel room. I do have the video and I do have all that stuff, which I will be playing for you guys right now. If you are on the YouTube side of things, you will be able to see, but you guys will still be able to hear it on Spotify. This is the video about the family trying to meet with CM Punk into the hotel lobby.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. Come here. I told you never meet your heroes.
That's a hard part.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would like that. That's
Aww. Feel bad for Matthew. I'm like so heartbroken for you.
like CM Punk, bro. Fucking
He is a punk.
like that. That like
Like I understand, like give him like their space and stuff, but we're in the same hotel, and he saw Matthew and Anthony like see him, and then he just like
see him, and he like Mad Dog doesn't walk.
don't ever meet your heroes because that could happen. And Matthew, I mean Anthony's heartbroken. What do you feel? How do you feel about CM Punk?
Good still because we can just like knock on every door and then we can say,
No.
Look in my eyes.
All right.
It's-
All right, let's stop that. Let's talk about what we just watched in that video right there. First off, she says we're literally in the same hotel. That does not give you the right to go into interfere with somebody's, anybody really, but especially, again, people we see on TV, famous people. You're a mother. I understand that you are trying to create a memorable moment for your child, but that's not the way to do it. Again, CM Punk, which he posted a video, has now been deleted, or something on his Instagram story, a picture, whatever on his Instagram story that has now been deleted, where he says, hey, stop fucking following me to the hotel room. I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, hey, like he says in all caps, like, whatever, catch me at the show. And he's 100% right. I don't know why these people, again, if it was the kid, I understand that, but look, CM Punk does not give a fuck. I mean, we seen what happened with him and the kid in Saudi Arabia. We've seen the videos of him punching the fans back in the day. Like, he's very much like get the fuck away from me type of thing. And it's because I think a lot of fans push him to the limit and they push his boundaries. And that lady and her two sons did exactly that in that hotel room. The nerve for her to say, we are literally in the same hotel room, does not, again, give her the right to do something like that. And when they say don't meet your heroes, yeah, don't meet your heroes when you're in a private setting. You meet your heroes at fucking conventions, wrestling matches, in public, maybe on the street, not in a place where they're resting their head. They're staying there in that city until they have to go to the next one. They're fucking essentially living in that hotel room, in that room. And these people think just because they're staying in the same fucking area that gives him the right to to do something like this. You know what? Your 6-year-old you need to teach your 6-year-old kid fucking manners. Teach your children manners. But hey, I'm sure you guys weren't taught manners as a kid. I'm sure you weren't taught manners as a kid. It is embarrassing. This is why wrestling fans get bad fucking reps. This is why wrestling fans get bad reps. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for checking out a quick episode here for Sunday Unfiltered Wrestling with PGH Chris. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. And subscribe, like, and I'll see you soon. Peace.